told you I found you a perfect match. Chosen by science, but you had to marry them right this second. You would tell me, well, that sounds pretty whack. And I would add, you have 8 weeks to know if you really love them. You just got married at first sight. Jason and Aysha gonna tell you wrong from right. Are all these couples just disasters waiting to happen? Imagine if one of them could be a perfect match.
Hello, and welcome to A Perfect Match, where we talk about this amazing show, Married at First Sight. We are here to talk about episode 5 of season 18. I'm Aysha, and I am one of the 3 co-hosts on this podcast today. And first up, we have my co-host who likes to, I think before the podcast, he was referring to his mic as his magic wand.
Oh.
Jason Reed. Jason, how are you?
You thought my intro last episode was inappropriate? How dare you? I'm ready. I'm here. I'm ready to talk about the show, formerly known as Married at First Sight, now known as the David and Michelle Show. Here, I'm ready to talk about our main characters, David and Michelle.
Yeah, it's Married at First Sight, David and Michelle and friends. Like, if you need a breather, we do have some other couples that we can, tap into, but David and Michelle.
They're boring. Nothing's going on with them. Let's focus on who we need to focus on.
Yeah. And then, of course, we have the amazing Mari Forth. Mari, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm so glad to be here to talk about this jaw-dropping episode. So many gasps, so many mysteries solved. I feel like this season is delivering so far. But I feel like we always have this like giddy excitement for the first like few weeks. So I really want to see if this can maintain throughout the 9 months it's going to be on, probably.
The next year of watching this show. I mean, there's a lot to talk about as it pertains to David. But there are other couples here. I think it'll be interesting just to see what direction they do go, because it's kind of interesting, like what they're focusing on right now. Like, I can't even tell the direction that Camille and Thomas are gonna go, but then it's kind of like we're like creeping in the territory with MM and Ikechi. Like, it feels like the calm before the storm with them.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
We're just waiting. for it to all fall apart. And what will set it off?
Exactly. So if you're here and you're not subscribed, make sure that you go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed. That's where you can get all of our podcasts about Married at First Sight, as well as Love is Blind, The Ultimatum, the show Perfect Match. So make sure you go subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast, and also subscribe to the RHAP YouTube channel so you can see our lovely faces. Make sure you go leave us a 5-star rating and review. We would love to shout you out on the podcast. We don't have any reviews this week to shout out. So make sure you go leave us a 5-star rating and review, and we will read it right here. We do have a lot of chatter happening over on Facebook and our Facebook group. So make sure you go join A Perfect Match podcast over on Facebook. And I'm going to put you on the spot, Jason.
Yeah, we did not discuss a Facebook password pre-show.
No.
There was a lot of homie talk. So maybe like let me be your homie. It's like, the listeners are asking us to let them come in and be one of our homies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Come be a homie. And it's a
Never
good
the
thing.
opps.
It's a good thing, guys.
Yes,
in the
it is.
Facebook group, it's a
Yeah.
good thing.
For sure.
It's
In
a
a
good
marriage,
Even a brand new one. You've only met the person
Yikes.
after 5 days.
thing.
Yeah, always the homies, never the ops. When it comes to our listeners that are for sure in the Facebook group, but for sure people in the
Yes.
Facebook group are the homies. That's how you know you're one of our homies.
Yes, exactly.
Mhm.
So yeah, let's just dive in. Let's get into it. We like Jason said, they spent a lot of time on David and Michelle, which is just like there's not an ounce of love there. So it's just like, whew.
But no, but I also there was a lot of David and Michelle, but I enjoyed the David and Michelle content.
Oh, I knew
Really
you did.
really just kind of just mouth agape, just at wonder of how she was acting for sure. Just totally shutting everything down. So I loved every second of it. It was an emotional roller coaster with her. It really was, because it was shifting and turning of like who she was putting the blame on. She sometimes put the blame on herself and then put it right back on David. So I'm down. I can't wait to talk about them. But of course, we have to say the best for last. So we're gonna get all these little other couples out of the way real quick.
Yeah. So first up, let's go ahead and talk about Camille and Thomas. They were there.
The end.
They
They were in Cancun.
They were there.
We got videotape evidence, so they were in Cancun.
They did show up to Cancun. Mm-hmm.
I might have to put my foot in my mouth and say that Jason was right. That they might be our boring couple of the season, at least so far.
Yeah.
I feel like we're definitely in that territory.
I feel
love
like
that for them.
Yeah, I do love that for them. And I was saying, I think it was the last episode that I was looking forward to seeing her with the other ladies. We did see her with the other ladies, but we still didn't. It was the same Camille that we see with Thomas. So maybe they are a good match.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kicking in where I was like last week. I think I said, she's going to be with the other ladies and she's going to be the soundboard. She's going to be the one like giving advice and doing this and that.
She did that.
And then she filled her role very well.
To a T.
I was really sitting there like, how is she the most mature person on there? And she's almost like what, the second youngest? I think Madison might be the youngest one. Madison's like 29, right?
Yeah, she's 28, 29.
But I mean, from the start, Camille just like the vibe she was giving off to me was mature. Like she's like even more mature than maybe her age. I mean, and she's 32. Like she's not 25. Like she's 32. So she's lived a life. So it doesn't surprise me that she is mature. I mean, it's more of a surprise that people that are older than her are not as mature.
And that's what I meant. Yeah.
We only got a couple of scenes from them this episode, so we did get them out on the water, so they did kayak together. She said like water is her thing, and they get in the kayak. She's like, wait, are we supposed to like row in sync or opposite? Don't do opposite because you're just gonna spin in a circle. They quickly realized they should row together.
Kayaking. I feel like that is an Aysha Welch activity if I've ever heard one. What are your water sport adventures like?
Yeah, I've kayaked plenty.
We saw her do a lot of swimming.
Kayaking is very fun.
We definitely know you like water. You've been in water solving puzzles on balance beams.
Yeah, I actually kayaked in Fiji too. So that was fun. But yeah, kayaking is like you could do one person, you could do two people. So it is really a communication exercise if you do two people.
So it is opposite.
No, it's together.
No, it's together. Yeah.
I feel like if you do together on the same side, you are going to go in a circle. Am I wrong about that?
No, you have to alternate together.
Yeah.
You're together but opposite. Or no?
No. I think you're thinking of like if you're in a canoe, which we saw Carla and Juan, they're on opposite sides, right?
Right, but you are alternating.
But if you are in a
alternating differently.
Yeah, it's different types of oars.
No, you're alternating the same.
If you're not watching the YouTube, you should see the three of us.
So together
with 10 oars in our hands. But if I'm dipping my oar in the right, I'm gonna need you to dip
then
yours
I'm
in the
dipping
left.
my oar in the right. No.
Exactly what Asia said. It's
go in a circle if you do that, but maybe I'm wrong.
No.
Right, you go in a circle if you do what you're doing.
If you do what you're saying.
But I feel like that's your forward momentum. But if you're both doing the left and the right at the same time,
but that's a canoe. Like what you just did was canoeing.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to go over this at the RHAP Cancun live event. We'll have to go in a kayak and figure this out.
Look,
we need to do the RHAP cruise, man. Where's Sam
RHAP
and Rhap?
Houston, honestly, December 4th, it might be 80.
Nobody getting your cold water, even
It's
in
not
even
going
80
to
degrees.
be cold. It's the
December in
thing.
Houston.
It literally was 80 degrees this weekend.
Wow,
I
that's
can't.
still cold.
Me and my friends went to lunch and we all were dressed for different seasons. I was dressed for the actual temperature. Other people were like, look,
Of course you were. Of
I'm
course
gonna
you
let
were.
fall meet me where I'm at, and I'm gonna put on my sweater. I don't care if I'm sweating. We literally had a conversation about this.
That's funny.
I know.
Because people will love their fall outfits. I
Mhm.
want it to be fall so I can put on my fall outfits. No, I want it to stay warm. I hate the
You
cold weather.
move to Texas because I have boots that are unworn, sweaters that are unworn.
Girl.
I can barely break out a jean because I'm gonna be sweating.
The whole west wing of the mansion is unworn clothes that Asia has not worn yet.
But all that to
Yeah.
say, they ended up doing it the right way. Ended up kayaking in the right direction. She said her country roots are kicking in because she's kind of taking the lead. And so she's realizing she's the one making these decisions so far and what they've decided to do while on the kayak. And so she's like, so what's your preference in leading?
Right.
So do you lead anything, or are you just gonna let me do
so
everything?
roundabout.
Right.
So I don't like to lead. I mean,
so leading, hate it or love it.
Where you at with it?
Hot or cold. So he basically says like some situations he likes to lead, but he doesn't believe in like the traditional roles. And she's just like, yeah, like I spend day to day like making the decisions at work. So like recreationally, I would prefer not to be the one making the decisions all the time. So we do get a confessional where she's like, I understand he's like trying to be respectful, but like I typically like a guy who likes to take the lead.
Thomas he does seem like a sort of a passive kind of guy. Like he's very quiet. He's very like he's very demure, if you mind.
Mindful.
Very mindful. I understand that reference now.
It only took you long enough.
Yeah, but
out of style.
Especially now that it's out of style. Yeah, that's my MO. When something is out of style, that's when I get it. But yeah, he just seems like a very kind of passive, go with the flow type of guy. And she's kind of like nudging him in the ribs, like you're gonna pick it up a little bit, like just kind of a gentle kind of reminder. Like I don't like to be in the lead all the time, so I like that from her, where she's letting him know where she's at, what she would prefer in a mate.
Was it gentle? Because when she hit him with the recreationally, I was like, oh,
gentle. Sometimes I like to lead recreationally, but in real life, you gotta do something, bro. You gotta do something.
Basically, yeah. Like if I feel like she was making it very plain and very clear. And so it's one of those things where if that doesn't change, she has every right to be like, look, we've discussed this. I'm gonna just stop making decisions.
Kayak.
Then we're gonna be, because it is an endless cycle. Like it can lead to like even as simple as like, where should we park? When it's like, and this is that is a real situation.
Yeah, the real test is once you're back home, where are we going for dinner? Who's picking? Who's deciding? Is it like, well, you pick? No, you pick, or is it like, no, we going here? Is like that's the real test.
Yeah, like she wants him
leading,
and he's not giving those vibes right now.
But I want to see if she'll actually let him pick, because
right
at this point, my husband's learned. What do you want to eat? I don't know. You pick something. He picks something. I don't want that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, exactly.
You want him to provide the options.
Exactly.
And if he says to you, this is where we're going. If he says this is where we're going, you're like, no, that's not where we're going. Like I thought you wanted me to be like, not like that. Not like that.
Exactly. But the funny thing with Camille and Thomas, though, which I think like we see two other couples talking about, well, at least one other couple talking about like wanting the man to lead. Camille and Thomas are different because not only is she telling him I want you to lead, but she's also throwing out like vibes of like she would enjoy him leading and actually wanting to be led, and not like it just feels more like, not friendship, not platonic, but like for us to engage our romantic side, I want you to lead, not like in order for me to even want to stand you, I need you to like lead.
Right.
I don't know if I said that right, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she's giving out the good vibes of leading in a sense. Like if you're gonna ask somebody to lead with some good vibes, not
Right.
not like I'm doubting your manhood, so I need you to lead type of vibes. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's what somebody else is giving to me. Like, calm down.
Oh, somebody on this cast?
Yes. I feel like I feel like Alan would have to hit Madison over the head with a rock and point her over his shoulder
Yeah.
for her to be like, "Thank you for taking the initiative."
Yeah.
Not the shoulder.
Yeah,
Finally, you're being that alpha that I wanted you to be.
exactly. Caveman BS.
There's a rugged guy with a beard and long hair that she pictures doing that.
That's just waiting. That's just waiting to treat her like trash, and she'll love it.
I don't put that on him. I am full. Look, we're too
I'm
far.
not putting that on him. I'm putting that on her.
We gotta talk about Camille and Thomas.
Yeah, Camille and Thomas
gave us
are our
nothing. Go
focus.
girl, give us nothing. This is what they're. I love them.
All they do is make me think about the other couples.
Yeah.
So we did get a dinner date, and he asked like, okay, how often do you like to go out to eat for dinner? She's like, oh, just like once a week. I'm a sucker for a good craft cocktail. And then they get into their family background, and so she asked him more about like being adopted. And so he explains like he grew up with his twin brother. He had 4 older siblings. One day when he was older, like in his 20s, his mom posted on Facebook and said
his early 30s.
Oh, he said early 30s? He
30s.
said his mom posted on Facebook. Moms be posted on Facebook.
They do.
Look,
Oh
me,
my
my
god.
mom,
I
I
love
have to tell her, like,
I
if
have to
I'm
tell
sending
her.
you a private picture to you, that's not to be posted on my birthday.
Exactly.
Why are you posting me in my bonnet? Because you think I'm cute.
Also, I don't want the world to see me as a child naked in a bathtub. Don't put that on Facebook. It's not what I want.
Every time I send my mom pictures of the kids, I have to be like, not social media appropriate, not social media appropriate, not social media appropriate.
For your eyes only.
Yes, you can post this one if you want to, I guess.
Right. It's gonna turn into, look, I'm showing you this picture just so you could get your eyes on it.
No, you can't
But
have
if
it.
you own it, I don't know what you're gonna post.
You're not
we
going
went
to be
to-
responsible because I can't give it to you. You're not going to be responsible for what I gave you. So you can look at it, but you can't touch it. You can't have
We
it.
went to visit my mom, and I'm sitting here playing with kids. She taking candid snaps and posting them on Facebook. I'm like, lady, with my bonnet on. Even worse when I took it off. I was like, okay.
That happens every time I'm at my mom's house, and like
Every
I'm
time.
chilling with the dogs. I got my bonnet on. Here she go.
Yeah, all closed.
My bonnet is on. No, that's fine.
Give me the
But
phone. Give me the
finding
phone.
out you're adopted via Facebook that's crazy.
wild.
That is nonsense of the highest order. To be like, happy Twins Day to the twins I adopted, and you didn't let him know that he was adopted?
But you let Facebook know.
That is
Literally.
That
Yes,
is
Facebook,
crazy.
you thought it was appropriate. Like, oh, he doesn't know. It's okay. I'm going to say happy Twins Day. And then I'm going to provide more clarity
Bro,
by saying
I don't know why
to the
twins
ones
hate
that I
that.
adopted.
I
So that was his adoption reveal.
don't want to talk to nobody else from this season, postseason, except for Thomas's mom. I'll be like, so what was the thought behind
What's
that?
that all
Like,
about?
And then she had the nerve to be mad when he bought the bio mom around. Well,
remember when I was mad when I found that I was adopted? Like, last year or a decade ago. He's 42. It's like,
He's had
over 10
7 years, I think, the bio
Yeah.
in his life. Yeah.
So like that is so wild.
It is, yeah.
Like, was she drunk and like posted that? Was that a drunk post? Like, I need to know.
How did she slip like that?
Yeah. Like, oops, forgot to tell you. My bad. I thought you knew already.
And it's an interesting approach too, because he finds that out. He doesn't call her, he calls his dad.
Yeah.
And his dad, he's like, Dad, don't lie to me. Is this true? His dad's like, I'm sorry. Yes, you are adopted.
I'm also very curious about the mom and dad's relationship.
Yeah, were they separated?
I don't know, because when he mentions his siblings, he's like, and a younger one from something else.
Yeah.
Like, what's that mean? So, I mean, because when we saw mom earlier in the season, it seemed like they were still together. Like, she was so broken up about his father passing and talking about how great of a father he was. I was like, this is something. The math is not math here. There is a lot going on in this family dynamic.
Yeah.
For him to drop that story is just like, damn, that's a lot. That is a lot of, and he talks about how that really affected how he was able to trust people. I was like, yeah, no kidding. Because
right, yeah,
that's such a big bomb to be dropped on you.
Yeah. He does say his dad did want to tell him when he turned 18, but was afraid of like him not loving him the same anymore. And then later he finds out his dad has stage 4 cancer, and his dad ends up passing away 3 to 4 months after he found out he had stage 4 cancer. And so, like you said, that trust affected him, which now it's understandable. Like, you can be very jaded after like all of these things. And so she does appreciate him for sharing that with her. He does ask about her parents' relationship, and thankfully this is Camille and it's not Michelle, because if it was Michelle, she would have said, why you asking about her parents' relationship?
I don't understand. Why?
Who's asking?
What's the reason?
What do you need to know that for?
Yeah. Who are you?
My business.
Who are you? Yeah. Who are you?
Jeez Louise.
Oh my God, bro. Wild.
But he does ask about her parents' relationship. She said her parents are separate. Her parents separated when she was younger, and they officially got divorced when she was like 16, 17. And he ends up telling her like he appreciates how kind she is, because it really makes him feel comfortable around her. We did get 2 group segments. So there was a segment of the guys hanging out doing a tequila tasting, the women hanging out getting led by Carla in yoga, and then there was a boat party at the end. So we're going to highlight those.
There was 3. That horrific van ride.
Oh, I count that as part of the boat party, because they were on the way to the boat party.
Yes, yeah, they were.
True.
Yeah, that horrific.
I could not. I was like, my ears.
We could have done without that.
Yeah,
I think cutting room floor. I absolutely believe that should have been left there. And so we're gonna kind of weave in the couples sections from all those different parts in their section. So for Camille and Thomas, Camille does say when she's with the ladies, she said that, she asked the other ladies about intimacy. She's like, well, with us, like, we had a really cute beach kiss. Then they cut to the actual moment. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I've always had this fantasy to have this.
You're going to do that every time you talk about Thomas now. When he says, that was great. That was good. That was a good Thomas.
Oh, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, just like really romantic beach kiss. And then they peck. And she's like, I've just fulfilled your fantasy.
Yeah, but he's like, I've always had this this fantasy of getting a kiss on a beach when it's raining. And it's silent for like 2 seconds. She's like, "Oh, you want to do that now? Like,
with me
here? Yeah, okay." And she gives him the kiss, and it's just another example of like, okay, is this the example of you leading? Like, what is this? Like,
right? Yeah, like
passive, like not saying what he wants.
Passive,
like,
yeah.
So you want that now? Is what you're saying? Okay, got it.
Right. Like I think she just wants him to. What'd you say?
I said Aysha did the voice better. That was kind of scary.
Wow, that hurt.
I'm sorry. I know you're the voice guy, Jason, but she nailed it.
No, I will give Asia that one.
You'll give me that voice.
That's an Asia exclusive. Anytime we talk about Thomas, you have to do the voice, Asia.
It probably won't be much.
No, you don't talk a lot. So.
Man of few words. Yeah, so Mara, you're right in that it's the same thing with Madison where they both want them to take charge, but they both have very different approaches with this.
Yes.
Whereas like Camille doesn't have less respect for Thomas because of this, but Madison does, it feels. With the guys all hanging out, yeah. Did y'all peep Thomas saying anything about their relationship?
Not a damn thing.
Because it was all David.
So they're all too focused on David.
Yeah. Yeah. We did get one on the boat. We did get Thomas. He asked her if they still if she feels like they are still strangers, and she's like, this is still new. He's like, yeah, I just feel like I've been overthinking things, and I just want more time with you. So I don't know what he's overthinking. He didn't share.
Yeah. But he did take more charge and stuff.
He did. He grabbed her hand.
Yeah.
Oh, she said she wouldn't be mad if he like slapped her butt or something.
Yeah, walk by her, give her a little ching ching.
That's how you know it's real. That's how you know the marriage is real.
Give her a little.
No cheek should be safe in your house.
No what?
No cheek should be safe in your house.
Hey, that's what I say. That's the motto in this house.
That's your motto.
She knows. She knows.
Oh my gosh. See, that's the motto, not that's the homie.
But see, and that's the thing. You got to be the homie, but you can't say that.
Exactly.
Like it's unsaid. You are the homie, but we're not gonna say that because that's rude. That's weird because it sounds like it's got friend vibes. But for real though, low key, you are the homie. We're just not gonna say it out loud.
Right. We do rate these couples 1 to 5. 1 to 5 on a scale of rating them to see if we think that they're still going to be together by the reunion. 1 being we don't think they'll be together. 5 being absolutely they'll still be together by the reunion. What do y'all think with these two?
It's going up. What did we say last week? Did we say 3?
Last week I said 4, Jason said 5, you said 4.
Okay. I'm creeping. I might creep it up to a 5. I have some high hopes for them.
Come on over, Mari. Come on over.
Yeah, I am very glad that if this the way we think the drama might be unfolding, that it's kind of away from them. Like I like it. I like it. So I hope they stick it out. So I'm gonna give them a 5.
Yeah, it's a 5. It's a 5. I like how things are going, right? Because when you think about successful married at first sight couples, the starting out is slow. Like they don't go all in.
As they should, yeah.
It builds up. So I feel like that's where we're going with Camille and Thomas. That's what I like. They're really trying to psych us out next week that something bad is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not believing it. I'm gonna sneak in there. I'm gonna keep my 5 all the way up. Let's go, Asia. What wrong opinion are you about to get?
Listen, I'm gonna maintain my 4 only because I do think that Camille is.
Asia doesn't believe in love, y'all. Asia doesn't believe in love. You heard it here first.
I just need to know that Camille is not missing out on the fun that she's looking for. I think as she grows in her feelings for him, I think she's willing to for them to create their own type of fun. Whereas right now she's still comparing in her mind. She could be comparing it to what it's like hanging out with her friends and stuff. Like the vibes are a little bit more lively. Mm-hmm. Whereas if she's slowly falling in love with him, she sees him for who he is, and they're creating this life together, and that could be fun for them. They're creating a new version of fun that works for him and her.
Yeah,
I think. No, sorry. Go, Jason.
So I think it'll only get better as time goes along because it feels like he's kind of a slow bloomer to kind of show all his personality, all his quirks. So I feel like by the time we get a few weeks into this thing, it'll be a lot better for him showing like his fun side to her.
Yeah.
And it looked like they were having like some fun on the party boat. You could tell by the time they had their last sit down, he had drank a few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he got up the courage to just kiss her.
Yes.
So like I do have high hope for them right now. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're kind of turning into that like, aw,
Yeah,
they're that couple.
and we need that. Like we
Yeah.
need this season.
Right.
Please.
I'm really glad that you guys have come around and decided that Thomas isn't a cheater, probably. like y'all were trying to make him be.
Well, clearly this episode was very eye-opening.
Thomas, I was on your side the whole time, bro. Always remember. I was a day one all the whole time.
Okay. All right.
These
Moving
two-
on.
These two right here, they were
All
doubting you. They were doubting you. They're trying to throw dirt on your name, said you was a cheater. Just remember that.
So the next couple that we were talking about.
I'm not done. Next couple, Juan and Carla. So we start with them. They're having breakfast. I don't know what it is about Juan. He really loves the like waiter role play. He's like, because he did it last episode. He's like, and today we have for you. Like, all right, bro, we get it. I think Juan is very much into like the dad jokes and the dad like gimmicks. He's like, and today we have for you this, and this. So they're doing the whole thing. They're eating. Juan said it's not rich food unless there are capers. I have to ask our expert on the panel, Aysha, what's your caper situation? How often do you have capers? Have you ever had a caper?
Yes, I've had capers.
Of course. See, the theory is proven correct.
But I don't believe it's an addition to a rich meal. Like you're talking caviar.
That's what I think.
Aysha's all about the caviar. See, that's how.
I think that's what Juan was thinking about. Too.
I think so too. I think he got it like a little mixed up.
Because capers are like actual like little fishies, right? Like
no, caviar is.
Caviar is actual little
eggs, right?
fish eggs.
Capers are like the little like they're like the pickled, they're like green.
Mm-hmm. They're little balls,
like little green balls, and it's like a pickled, like mini I think it's a vegetable.
It is a vegetable,
yeah, but it's pickled.
It was like a fish.
That's why Jason doesn't know nothing about it.
I'm sorry, I forgot I was on a panel with the two of the richest in America. Mars about to be more fourth million or whatever.
No, working middle class here. So
same.
Oh right, yeah. Okay, sure. You're just one of us, Aysha. You're just hard scramble.
One of us might get our taxes cut. One of us is.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so Juan and Carla having breakfast. A lot of breakfast and food banter. We get into the nitty-gritty. Obviously a question prompted by production. Let's talk about finances. What are your finances like? What do you like to spend money on? He says, well, he's an entrepreneur. He says, tech companies are real money pits, so it's going to take a while to be profitable. He says, he pretty much pours all of his money into this business. So he's like, I know you like to go traveling and I like to do a lot of things, but you might have to go by yourself, like, because I don't got it. Like, so that's what it is. She's like, I wouldn't leave. Basically, like, I wouldn't leave you in the lurch. I pay for you. I pay for your flight. I fly you out somewhere. Because his thing is like, you go. I'm gonna stay here. Like I can't afford it, so you go and do it.
You go live your glorious life. I'll be at home.
Yeah, I'll be sitting at home waiting for you. He's just like, yeah, your whole juice thing. Like I don't do that. And Carla seemingly also talking to us, the audience. She says, listen, I am responsible with my money, but I like to splurge. So, that's just what it is. Like, she's letting us know she pays her bills, but she also has some left over. She likes to do what she likes to do. She says, she also likes the fact that they can connect on the entrepreneur piece because she also owns her own business. But she would like to feel that even if he can't do it, that he wants to take care of her. Like he has that desire and that feel. They say it's all about the bigger picture. When she says this, he's just kind of like, right. Like, he's not really giving a really positive response to what she's saying here. He's just like, sure, right.
Yeah.
He says, so he basically asked her, like, is it a big deal to you if I can't pay for all the things that you want? She's like, no, but I do appreciate your honesty and telling me what the situation is. He's not like a Steve who's just like,
Right.
I have money. You just can't know how much. You never know.
Yeah, he's very open, you know.
Yeah, like he make sure to tell her at every turn, listen, girl, I'm broke, so don't be expecting a whole bunch.
Lower them expectations.
Temper those get those expectations down. Like Akechi says, have no expectations. That includes me taking you out to dinners. Don't expect that stuff.
And
We
she
have
was
ramen
probably
noodles for dinner, girl.
better than I thought.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
I
Maybe
thought
it's
that was
just
a
they
nice
made it-
response.
Yeah, I think they might have like built it up in the next
Of
time
course,
on.
yeah.
Yeah. But also I just love all of Juan's black music references. Like
Oh my God.
literally always just singing to himself.
He can't stop. He can't stop making song
It's
references and singing songs to himself.
I love it.
Yeah, he's an interesting cat. He's an interesting guy.
He's very
Juan-
funny. Like you wouldn't think he'd be as funny. Like he presents so stiff, and then
Yeah.
he'll go into a random like voice, like the waiter voice that he had on,
Mhm.
and it's very interesting.
It's
Yeah.
funny because like we see her as quirky. He's quirky in his own way too.
True, very true.
They match each other in that way. I think
Really well.
I think they can learn to adapt to each other's lifestyles. Oh, they're set.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When they
but
were drunk, that drunk diary jam.
Yeah, but I think that lifestyle piece is gonna be a big deal. They go on a canoe ride in their next segment. A little funny segment where they capsize their canoe because they're too busy. They crash into a parked canoe. I'm pretty sure that Juan had some drinks before he was piloting that canoe.
It's like it's in the way. We can't avoid it.
So yeah, they crash into the he of course goes into the, I don't even know what this was. This is like a moat of some sort, like around the hotel complex. Who knows what this was?
Yeah.
But she's like a cat. I guess she jumps out of the canoe and onto the pavement. She's like, I'm not getting wet. That's you, buddy. Like
He's like, how is it only your bottom down wet? He's like, I'm drenched.
Listen, Carla's a witch. she does some sort of stuff with her magical energy. She got right off that canoe onto dry land. Yeah. So when we get to the guys get together, it's a lot of intimacy talk with Juan and Carla. Juan says, he really wants to make sure he's not jumping the gun with intimacy with Carla. He really wants to take time to get to know her and see if they can see if they match one-on-one before they get into the intimacy of it all. Carla, for her piece, talks about how sex for her is a spiritual energy exchange. And it's a very sacred thing. So, he got married pretty easily to her. So he's going to have to work for the intimacy piece a little bit. She says the chemistry is definitely there, but it's more about getting to know each other and figure out if we can have a life with each other. I think this is the start of something interesting for Juan and Carla. As we'll talk about a little more, they talk about intimacy later down the line. I feel like we're going to get into a space where Juan's not ready, but Carla's going to be ready for the intimacy, because I feel like that's what it's going to be for them.
And in that scenario, do you think it's like if he's not ready, he's gonna be like, well, she's ready? Or do you think it's gonna be like he's gonna put up a fight, like it's gonna be him putting up a wall?
I think it'll be him putting up a wall, because I don't think he's gonna really kind of like say, well, you're ready, so even though I'm not really ready, I'll go ahead and do it anyway. I think both Juan and Carla can be a little stubborn, the word I want to say, but they're very, very like convicted in their views and won't back down to anything or do something they don't want to do. I think that's where we're going to go with that. We get a couple of massage from Juan and Carla, and I think intimacy is a big word for them, because the heat is starting to turn up a little bit. They're both just kind of like, yeah, I'm really liking the vibes right now. I like how she looks. She likes how I look. He says he does want to get closer. He does have that temptation to get closer to her, but he has made the mistake of getting too intimate too early. And he says he wants to be in love first before he goes there with Carla.
Because and that's going to be, what's the word? Subjective. Yes.
Yeah, subjective.
It depends on what you
Right.
mean.
Because
Yes, I think
because it's going to be like, oh, am I in love, or
Yeah,
do I
subjective is
have love for her, or am
Everyone's
I
version of
in
love is
love?
different. Yeah.
Do I
It's so
love
stupid.
her, or what?
Yeah, everyone's love is different. So what is that?
Man, I mean, like, you only got 8 weeks. If you're feeling the vibes, get into the vibes. It's fine.
I mean,
Life's short.
yeah,
You're
that's
married.
why I feel like she's gonna be ready. He's like, I'm not in love yet, so maybe not. I don't know.
Because wasn't that what Becca and I said?
Oh
Like,
my god, who knows what that was?
I know who knows. Like, I don't. Okay, I'm not poo-pooing, but it's like, okay, again, you only have 8 weeks, so it's kind of like, I don't know if you need to be in.
But see, Mari, they
love.
don't only have 8 weeks. That's the thing. It's like 8 weeks or you're dead.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, they can say yes.
8 weeks or you never get divorced. 8 weeks and you're stuck.
But like I do agree, like, at least knowing each other better before having sex. Like, I think that's the main key. Like, does the goalpost need to be love? That seems like very like abstract, but like knowing each other, feeling comfortable with each other seems like more obtainable. Like, because you don't want to do the Jake and Haley where it's like, well, let's just do it, and then you have no emotional connection, and then it's bad. And then bad. And then it's like,
in runs Madison's father, and before you get STD tests.
Exchange papers.
Get those results, kids. Very important. For Juan and Carla, we do move into a scene where they're in a hot tub, and we kind of get into a what's everyday life like for you guys. Like his thing is all like, if I leave dishes in the sink, will you wash them? She's like, yeah, but I mean, after a couple times, basically, I'm gonna have to tell you about yourself.
Right.
we do get into a toilet paper discussion about what's the best way to leave the toilet paper. Now, I don't really have an opinion on the toilet paper. I feel like I kind of just do it whichever way I happen to do it that time. Either of you have a toilet paper opinion that is paramount?
I don't. I put it on what I'm focused on is putting the little hole through the roll. I don't know what direction it's facing.
I just want toilet paper in the bathroom. I just want toilet paper and somewhere in the bathroom.
Listen, I don't care what position it is, but the rule around here is if you have used up the toilet paper and there's none in the little dispenser, you need to fill it. Okay, because I'm not fit to sit down, get my business started, and be like, oh crap, literally, and have to do the waddle over to this closet and get me some toilet paper.
I've debated.
I have to do it all the time.
I've debated teaching Pepper and Cinnamon how to go fetch one, but I didn't, because I said that's gonna slip.
Honestly, put them to work.
Yeah.
Get them out of that life of luxury. Put them to work.
Right.
That's the thing, Asia. Having kids is all part of them doing stuff for you. Go get the remote. Now you tell them to go get the toilet paper.
Right.
When my son got old enough to get me the remote, it was one of the happiest days of my life.
Yeah, it's so it's blissful.
It is. Yeah.
When we were younger, we used to have to go and turn the channel on the TV manually.
Had to come all the way from upstairs.
Couldn't control it from my phone. Had to actually come walk downstairs.
I remember standing at the VCR to record Tom and Jerry and having to like press record when the episode started. Wow, we've come such a far
remember
way.
To stop it too.
Right, or you get all the episodes on Cartoon Network after. Yeah. Then now I've recorded all over all my children. Now my mom's mad.
That's the worst.
Don't be messing with Mama Welch's stories. Don't do it.
Oh my god, my aunt had stacks and stacks and stacks of General Hospital VHSs. Oh my god.
Mama Welch needs to know what Erica Kane was up to that day, okay? Don't play. Do not play. Back to the show we came here to talk about. You can tell the show was not super entertaining this episode because we just keep veering off into different things. One of the more interesting moments for Juan and Carla was in the van on the way to the boat date, where Carla just starts spouting off about sex, where she's like, you know, guys, you have magical sticks and you transfer energy into people. You can't be transferring negative energy into your partner. You can't do that. And everyone just cracking up. Juan would rather be anywhere else right now but this van. He wants to be teleported outside of this van right now. And she's like, me and Juan haven't even seen each other naked yet. Right, Juancho? Like, Juan's just like, let me get out of here. Can I jump out of the car right now, please?
He's so quiet that someone's like, where's Juan?
Yeah, he's like, I'm just taking notes. Taking notes.
How long do you think that ride was?
Like, oh my God. Carla's like, you guys are wasting your magic. Wow.
You guys, they have magic sticks, and what do women have? Temples? Oh God.
Yeah. You're putting your magic stick into other people's temples and transferring your energy. Don't transfer negative energy.
I hate it.
Yeah.
Like I am not a prude. And as somebody who grew up in a family that like use proper scientific terms for your body parts, I cannot. Magic wands and I cannot. Girl, what are you talking about? I would be cringing so hard. I'm cringing watching this. I cannot imagine being in that van. And then Allen and I don't know what he was trying to do, but he was making it even more awkward. I was like, I don't like this.
Alan was eating it up. Alan loves that type of awkward nonsense.
I got a magic stick now. Ooh, Juan, give me dap. Like, what is happening right now?
Who said like, oh, Juan, you got a winner? Was it
Alan?
It was Alan. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Weird. Down. Ugh. Now that would have given me the ick if I was Madison.
Juan and Carla, where are we at with ratings?
I think they're doing really well. I think they could have easily been in a place where someone could they could have easily found a person for them that would not be as easygoing. Like, I'm just going to learn about you as we go. We figure this out. We have our differences, but I feel like we're still working at this. I don't feel like either one is in a position right now to just be like, no. They're so far from being like, this is not my match. They're just experiencing, which is really what this experiment should be about. Like, live. Get to know each other. Stop being caught up in like,
the pressure of everything.
Yes. Yeah. Like, just enjoy. And if at the end of the day, after you've enjoyed, you realize, wait, this is not what I want, then that's what you decide. Rather than right now, like, you just, I don't know if you could be the person for me, which I don't feel like either one of them are doing at this point. So I've been a 4. I'm going to maintain my 4. Because I still think that they could get deeper. I still think there's, work to go. But I feel like the fact that they're at least still enjoying each other, I think that's a good sign.
Yeah. I've been at a 2 for them, I think, recently. You had a good episode. I'll pump you up to a 3. I'm gonna give you a little extra point. There you go. Go to 3. Go ahead. Go up.
Go ahead.
Get up there. Get up there. Yeah, I feel like they had good conversations. I do feel like the whole lifestyle thing is going to rear its ugly head once we get back to the real world. Yeah. But like you said, Asia, I am appreciative of the fact that they are taking advantage of the low pressure they have right now in a fun place, and they're having fun. So yeah, give them a 3. I'll give them. I'll let them have their little point increase for a 3.
I gave them a 3 last week, I believe.
You did, yeah.
That's where I'm going to stay. I think they have such good potential possibilities, all out the yin yang, but like nothing like, nothing like in love yet. I don't know. I like it, but I'm giving them a 3. I'm not at 4 yet because they're again the van, but I'm giving them a 3.
Yeah, because it's interesting because people can be very different when they're in a group setting. Where Carla is very much so I'm the life of the party, kind of all eyes on me. I can like entertain. it seems like she likes to be that focal point in a group
Mhm.
setting. But when it's
Yeah.
just them,
Right. She's like more reserved.
yeah.
Yeah. I noticed that too. Kind of like he's the odd one
Yeah.
Mhm.
when they're together, but then in the van, she. Okay.
All right. So, our next couple that we are going to talk about is one that also didn't get a bunch of attention this episode, but they had a couple conversations. We have MM and Ikechi. So, just like all the rest of the couples, they started out with breakfast, but she set it up on the balcony for them.
Right. She set it up. Like, how'd you get this past me? I said, it's called production assistance. That's
And wasn't he the one talking about balconies last week? Like,
whatever happens.
This
on
ain't the balcony
balcony.
activities he was talking about, though.
I know.
Right.
This is not what he's talking about.
Yeah, so she woke up extra early and cooked all this stuff and set it up.
Yeah.
She sure did.
Right.
Could you imagine cooking on your vacation?
Oof.
I'll be
No.
damned. In an all inclusive.
Right. He tells her he's looking forward to just enjoying moments with her, which is so funny to me because they do a lot of this, like talking about what they want to do rather than just doing it. I want to get to know so much more about you.
That ask me questions. But I feel like the performative meter for Ikechi this episode wasn't as high as
it wasn't. I will give him props for that.
Yeah,
this was the realest. Yes.
Okay. Okay. I guess the
this is the realest.
Mari hates Ikechi.
I don't. I just can't with the bad performance though.
Yeah. Look. Well.
But
okay.
You're right. It's
with
this. Yeah.
The meter. Let's say if over here is low performance meter, he was like over here.
Gotcha.
With her this episode. As soon as he got with the guys, whoop.
You have no idea what she's talking about.
I know.
Yeah.
He low performance meter with MM this episode, back to where he normally is when he got with the guys.
Yeah, because he thinks he's Dr. Phil with the guys. He thinks he's Pastor Cal.
I got this marriage thing figured out. Okay.
Yeah. Did you read my letters?
Listen, man, just because you got glasses and you're bald does not mean you're Pastor Cal. Okay.
Yeah.
So he asked her, when was your first date? See, I'm sorry. Every single time, anytime he says something, I'm like, oh, this is so annoying. He just reminds me of so many the single men market in Houston.
Well, that's where he's from.
That's where he's from. Like, he is on brand from Houston.
I think everything we've seen is really coloring your thing. Because let Thomas have asked this. No, you do it, Asian.
When was your first date?
See,
if Thomas had asked it, you would all be like,
he wouldn't have asked it.
So sweet.
Because he's not from Houston. No, it's just like, oh, this is it's such an annoying question because it's just like.
But it feels like anything he said would have been annoying.
I know. It just feels like, hey, I Googled great questions to ask on a first date rather than just truly getting to know her. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
And does it matter what you did when you were 15?
Right. So this leads her into telling him she started dating late in high school, and he's like, why? She's like, well, I was a tomboy. I played sports. Really wasn't focused on that. And he was like, well, I was a boy in high school. And it really took somebody saying look, we're going on a date for him to finally go on a date. And then he talks about having to bounce back and forth between Austin and Houston and how he was at a different school every semester because he was going back and forth between his mom and his dad's house. Then at 16, his dad kicked him out. And so it was kind of the situation where he had to lean on an older cousin figure a college friend.
Just some random college students.
Yeah. Just
He
a
left his
person.
dad's house and he wandered into a college campus, and some college
Yeah.
students took him in.
Took him in.
Apparently,
In Atlanta.
In Atlanta.
In
And
Atlanta.
then his mom found out and said, you're coming back to Houston.
You
Like,
know,
what's this story? I was like, so your first call when you get kicked out of your dad's house into your mom, like, hey mom, I'm coming home. You just decided to like wander around until you found a college and was just like, hey,
yeah,
hey, college kids, take me under your wing.
Yeah.
weird.
He says he thinks the reason why he got kicked out is because him and his dad were just very similar people, and his dad was having a bad day and he was having a good day, and then his dad kicked him out.
I'm sure there's a lot more to that story.
I know. And so he says this whole the way he grew up is one of the reasons he became a teacher, because he just really wants to give his kids a way out of the hood. And he's like, if you change one child's life, that can it can change a whole family's life.
I said that performative meter was starting to feather up a little bit. Like, all right, bring it back down, Nkechi. Bring it back down. You're not Coach Carter out here. Like, relax, dude.
She talks about how like she grew up in a very a family that wasn't that emotional, because she was like the only girl for a while. And in a confessional, she says like her family did not say "I love you" growing up, and so she started crying thinking about her dad passing. And her dad did tell her that he loved her during one of their last conversations, and so now she's making a point to be more vulnerable. And so Ikechi does tell her that, like, look, you can let your guard down. It's going to be really helpful for us in this marriage. And so she says, like, okay, I think we're off to a good start. Then we go to the separate group outing. So when the girls were doing yoga, when they talked about intimacy, said there have been little pecks here and there. There are no makeout sessions. They're really enjoying spending time together. The physical attraction is there. Don't get her wrong. The physical attraction is there. And then we get a confessional.
So why aren't you taking the jump, ma'am?
Oh no!
What's the holdup?
Oh god!
You just know what I'm talking about.
I know.
No intimacy. Master Cal somewhere cursing and in a pillow, like no.
I still don't believe them. I think they've been intimate.
If they haven't had sex, they've been going up to the line. If you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the only reason I kind of believe them at this point, because I feel like they would be closer. Like I feel like we would see more of that physical, like more of the physical touch, where I still feel like they're like feeling each other out.
Literally.
There's a lot of physical touch in the last episode where they were trying to make everybody realize that they're the dominating couple. Yeah.
Right. We did get a confessional from Madison saying that MM and Nkechi have a really strong connection. They're really good role models for them.
See, this should tell you that the MM and Nkechi relationship is going to crash and burn so epically. They are setting us up really well. Everyone's like,
they really are.
MM and Nkechi, they're the perfect couple. Oh, you just wait a few weeks. Like Juan said, wait a couple weeks. Wait a couple weeks. They're not gonna be doing well. Juan called it.
Yeah. So let's see. Over on the guy. Wait, where are we at? On the guy's side. Yeah.
On the
Ikechi. Yeah. Ikechi was chiming in every single time David was asking for advice. He acts like it was like a one-on-one conversation. I'm sure they edited it to be that way, but he had a lot to say on the David situation, but we'll hold that.
And David's trying to ask a question like, so like, you know, we've been having some issues, and Ikechi's like, hey, you know what'll solve that? A shot. Annoying. Like, let the man speak. Let the man talk.
He says he likes that MM is the homie. He said, look, it's just like, hey, let's have a good time. He says they vibe and like, that's it. They don't have an expectation list. And he says that she makes it really easy for him to be a husband, which I think is like not a red flag, but it should raise flags for him. Like this shouldn't be this easy. Like, you did marry a stranger. Like, yeah, right. It shouldn't be a walk in the park, but I don't know if, like, the way that he's saying, like, she's the homie, right? I don't think he's acknowledging that, like, okay, well, do you see, have you friend zoned her in a way, like, unconsciously, or like, is that all you need? I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I get it. Like, it's kind of weird, right? Because I at first was like, also, I think, like, let's be real, especially with a lot of these love shows, like for Black women, that's triggering. Like, calling a Black woman like the homie is like, oh, so you're not attracted to me? Great, that's awesome. But when he did start to try to explain himself, like later when he's talking to MM, I was like, oh, he has a point there, because he said he's like, I'm saying we like each other. I mean, half these people don't like each other, so that's a good first step. And I was like, he's not lying. Like, when you've married a stranger, it's not bad to say that you're friends with them, especially like 3-4 days in. What couple was that where they, like, was it Gina and Clint? I can't remember, but where they didn't make it to friends until like the 8 weeks, so they couldn't even progress towards. Was it Jasmina and?
No, I think it was Clint and Gina.
Well, it was both. It was Jasmina and Michael and Gina and Clint.
Yeah.
Because by the 8 weeks, Jasmina and Michael were like, we've spent so much time feuding, and then by 8 weeks, like, we're
actually
good
cool.
friends. She like you. Kind of with Gina.
Too late.
You know.
Yeah.
The physicalness was never going to get there for Gina and Clint. It was like, that was never going to happen. But yeah, I think, like you said, Mari, 4 or 5 days in, it's good to be at a friendship level. Like, you can't have these super high expectations of like, oh, we're gonna be in love in 5 days. I just think the terminology is
not
what
good.
was throwing
Which
he
he does at least acknowledge. So when they regroup after that, he's like, he's like, yeah, so I've been telling him we get to know each other as homies. She's like, wait, you said that? It was just funny. Like, let's rewind. You said homies?
His face was like, now you know I mean that like that.
Right. He said, well, maybe he's gonna have to find a better term for it. Because we get a confessional from her. She said that terminology makes it seem like she's a friend to him.
Yeah.
And he's like,
but you kind of are. Like, you are a friend that I share kisses with, like, now and then, and we get.
She wants to be a friend that he is actively pursuing, but it's just like, okay, Mari, you have a point. Is it like, is he? I guess for her, the only way for her not to feel like he truly does see her as the homie is he complimenting her? Does she have confidence that he is attracted to her? Is he giving her that words of affirmation? Is he feeding into her love languages right now? Yeah. And if she doesn't have that confidence, then naturally she's going to feel like, does he just see me as a friend? Because we just vibe. We have a good time. We laugh.
But I feel like he's doing all that, though. I feel like he is checking those boxes from what we've seen. He's complimenting her. He's touching her. He's making her feel comfortable. And I think that's probably what really threw her off balance, hearing that homie word, because she's in her head thinking like, we're at a great level right now. Like, we are getting to be more than friends very quickly. And he throws in the homie, and she's like, whoa, like, am I thinking this is more than it is? Like, what's up? What's going on? And he did try and diffuse the situation, be like, yeah, like, we're at a better level. If I say that, like, we're friends, like, some of these people out here are not friends. David and Michelle are actively beefing. Like, we are good. Like, we are at a good space. I think he was just really trying to diffuse. Like, I will give credit when credit is due. I feel like this was a good episode for Ikechi. As much as we have buried him in the previous episodes, I feel like this was a pretty good episode for him. He felt more genuine. He felt more authentic, and was really good at, like I said, diffusing that homie situation.
Yeah, he even gives her the example. Like, he's like, you even know how to pronounce my name. Like, he's like, you know how hard that is to find.
Yeah, I think they did a really good job of communicating through it. So, I mean, I think it's all you can ask for. Like, okay, yeah, maybe they had a misunderstanding on the use of the language versus where they are, but they both, she kept coming back. She's like, but I keep coming back to homie, and he's
Let it
like,
go,
okay,
though.
well,
You
I
gotta
can
let
use
it
another
go.
word, yeah,
Yeah.
but it didn't seem. But once he explained it, she's like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So
It's like,
I think
I'm
they
gonna
did a great
remember
job.
that, but I'll let you have it for now.
Yeah,
This will come up later. Be sure. I'm putting that one in the memory banks for later.
Right.
I
On
keep
the
looking at my notes, and it's literally all Michelle and David. I'm
Yeah.
like,
literally, I'm like, okay, EKG. Oh, there we go. So on the boat, EKG him and MM sit down and have a conversation. He's like, what brings you peace? And she's like, that I can communicate with you. And he's like, look, what better way? What better way to get to know you than to listen to you?
I'm like your side rib. Okay.
Yeah. He said he can read her
Relax.
face already. He's like, I could tell you're hungry.
There goes that meter again. There goes that meter again.
I mean, she's
well,
like, yeah, I am.
Right. Like Jason Amari, looking at you right now, I think you need dinner.
No, I'm good.
Oh.
Already ate. Based on the time, it is time for dinner for me. So
Yeah.
Well, I have not eaten yet.
See,
we can tell. We can tell, Asia. We can tell. I can read you.
I tried to tell y'all, let's do it later, but whatever.
Well, but let's see what he says, look, if she needs anything at this point, let him know. Even if she needs him to like be quiet, let him know. We still haven't, on the next time on, we still haven't gotten to the blow up that we do see in the previews earlier in the season. I
think that blow up is later in the season at like a group dinner. Yeah,
I'm starting to think
it's at a group dinner. I just wasn't sure if that was like the end of this, or was like once you get back. I'm
starting to think it's the retreat.
You're starting to think?
I think it might be the
last dinner at the retreat. Could be.
I think it's one of those random mid-season dinners that they go to a lot. Like,
random mid-season dinner.
Yeah.
I think we all agree. I don't think it's the honeymoon.
Nah,
they're still faking the funk. So
I think they'll be fine during the honeymoon. I can't even remember what their next time on was.
That's what I was trying to think of too.
He said something about he broke up with someone because they didn't want any more kids.
He said I've ended things with an ex for not wanting children. So I wonder, are they gonna have to talk about children? Is she in a space where she's like, because isn't she's like 38? Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, she's up there. Yeah.
Really, Jason?
Your age?
Really, Jason?
I mean, in terms of the ages of our participants.
Up there.
The ages of just jumped out.
You're so old.
Why are you talking about yourself?
If she's going to do it, she better start doing it fast because that clock's a ticking.
That's what you sound like.
Exactly.
Brother.
So ratings. We've been at a consistent 3 across the board.
Nothing's
what are y'all thinking?
Change. Nothing's
I'm
make
not
you change that 3.
Same.
Yeah.
All right. I think what will change us from a 3s on these people are just like the first fights and how they deal with them. We haven't gotten enough of a sample size. We haven't got enough sample size yet for them to really give us a really good indication.
Yeah.
Next up, Madison and Allen. The first time we see Madison is in the gym with David.
Dog.
So listen, I think I even said last episode about this whole couple swap. It's like David and Madison are both gym people. I think I even said
no. We all said that. Wait, where are you coming from? Saying like you came up with this? No,
you're not let me talk.
The both of y'all were right. I was still on the original thought process. So
I said they meet up in the gym on the honeymoon. You didn't say honeymoon, Aysha. You said like apartment complex. I said honeymoon.
No, what I was saying was I said I have a new theory that I think it's Madison. I think it's Madison. I said because we hear she likes to work out. I was giving my reasons. And then
it was me. I was the one who was wrong here.
All right, Mari's the wrong one. We'll go with that. But anyway, so lo and behold, do we see David and Madison meeting up, coincidentally in the gym, whatever, coincidentally or not. So they're in the gym. I think we'll talk mostly about this conversation in the David and Michelle portion, because most of it was centered around David and Michelle, where Madison's giving David advice on what to do with Michelle. So once Madison gets back from that gym outing with David,
the gym date,
yeah. Pretty much that's what it was.
Oh no.
She tells Alan all about it, what advice she gave to David, which part of it was being more assertive. And so Alan's just like, do you think I need to be more assertive? He says it in such an unassertive way. It's like, I don't know. Do you think maybe I need to be more assertive? I mean, you can, if that's too much, you let me know.
Answer or don't answer.
Yeah, whatever. She asks him, so how do you typically deal with conflict in relationships? He says, most times I just do what's needed to get past it and don't do whatever the inciting act was again. That's not really a lot. That's not really enough for Madison. She's just like, well, you seem to care about all others a little too much. Like, I don't want to call you a pushover, but basically I'll call you a pushover. And she says she wants him to think about how he is feeling and not walk on eggshells like David is. She says, you really seem to be a caregiver. I want you to care for you. And that's how you can best be a partner for me, is doing things for yourself. Alan hears this. He's like, you know what? No, I do look out for my own happiness. If I'm not happy, I'm going to leave. Like, it's almost as if he's like trying to overcompensate because she told him to be assertive. He's like, if I'm not happy, I'm going to leave. He's like, yeah, you're right. I do care for others a lot, but I'm going to make sure that I'm also happy at the same time. Now, my question was like, Madison, you've known this man for 5 days. What have you really seen to give you this, like, this opinion that he's too much of a caregiver, that, he doesn't think about himself? That's what what have y'all even done to show you that is him?
She has diagnosed him as a people pleaser when it's just like,
there's no people around. Like, they're really pleasing.
Right. And it's just like, is it that she is thinking about her past relationship so much that it's like, wait, this guy is so nice and like giving and like attentive. What is this? What are you doing? What, put up a fight? Like, if I ask you to go get me something, you should say no.
Yeah, I think that might be it, because like he's just too nice, and to like, don't open the door for me. Go in first. Like, if you want to go in first, go in first.
Don't pull my chair out.
Yeah,
how dare you?
Yeah, you should want to sit down first. Like, it's so weird. I do think that's what it is. Like, he is so nice to her that she is really kind of throwing her off guard. Like, why is he so nice? Like, he must be putting himself out to be this nice to me. Like, you're not thinking about yourself, like something weird like that. Because she, I'll never forget when she's talking to like his family. He's like, he pulled a chair out for me. Like, I haven't had that in so long. He is so weird, right? Like, wow. Like, that tells me a lot about your previous relationships. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard somebody say like so many like great qualities about a person in such a negative way.
With the ick face, right? Like, he's so nice.
Like, caregiver. Like, yeah, you care about people too much.
What is that?
Like, girl, please. What did she ever say? She went to therapy? Probably not. Like, come on, girl. I don't know.
She hasn't pulled that weapon out of her bag. So yeah, the next scene we get is the boy and girl outings with Madison with the ladies. She does talk about the fact that attraction has been a little bit of a challenge for her. It's great that he is so open, that he's talking about these things, but it's been hard for her. For Alan's part, he's like, basically he's just like, I don't think she's attracted to me at all. Like, it's like, I get a sense that she's not as attracted to me as I am to her. That was pretty much it for their like boy and girl outing scenes. They go on a paddle boat excursion. So much water transportation this episode. Really, we got canoes, we got kayaks, we got paddle boats, a big boat. Got a lot of water activity.
Yeah.
So in a confession, he says he wants to be hopeful that they can get back to that kind of really good vibe they had on the wedding night, but it's getting a little harder. They're out on the paddle boat. He makes some dumb joke about getting wet, and you can tell she's really kind of turned off by this. She's like, oh my god, like for real, like give me a break. He asks her what are some of the things that she envisioned her husband to be. She kind of sidesteps the question. She's like, well, you and I have some similar viewpoints. We got some similar values. That's what I like to see like in a mate. And then she asks him, like, what do you love about yourself? He basically says, I love that I become comfortable kind of with my own style and my own skin. And she takes this opportunity to be like, yeah, your style is kind of out there, kind of outlandish. Like she called him outlandish. I said, okay.
Yeah.
And he's, he kind of says, I kind of like my style. He talks about these sunglasses he has on, and who knows how long his actual story was, because they like to time lapse us.
Yeah,
so this is like an hour-long story when it was probably like 5 minutes. And she just kind of tells me, you really like to over-explain your stories. She is really negging this man on this whole like paddle boat ride, telling him everything he does is annoying. He says, yeah, I know, I gotta work on my rambling. You just tell me to shut up when you want me to shut up. And she's like, go ahead and shut up. And Mari, what you said about her like talking about his qualities in a negative way, this is in a confessional. She's like, he has a really eclectic personality. He's got his own style.
He's unapologetically himself.
Oh, who does that? Who's unapologetic themselves?
I can't, like, I don't know. I maybe because I'm not a fashion person or anything like that, but it's like calling it quits over a style is like, that's crazy to me. Like, especially for somebody who's confident in his style. Like, I like that he's like confident. And I think if you can do anything, do it with confidence. And I mean, just weird veggie shorts, an open pattern top that doesn't match the shorts at all, and what was that, bright green glasses. It's a lot, but you're out on the beach. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
He says he likes his style. If he's gotta thug it up, so be it. Okay. I said, okay. I was on your side, Alan. Until that comment.
We all just shrivel up.
Yeah. We just spent 5 minutes defending you, and then you ruined it. You ruined it with that one comment. He talks about how, we don't have to like what each other likes all the time. He is who he is. He has a lot of pride in himself, but at the same time, he doesn't want to make her uncomfortable with his style. He says, so like if I was wearing this and we were walking out the street, would you want to walk with me? And she unabashedly says, no. No, I would not.
Not at the moment.
Not at the moment. What would get you there? Like, what would make you more comfortable to walk down the street with him in this getup he has on? Like, I don't know. I don't understand what she meant by that. She's like, at the moment, no.
The wild part, though, is he already questions if she's attracted to him. So this is a wild question. Like, a question that who thinks to ask this unless you're trying to gauge if the person across from you is attracted to you? Like, we wouldn't think like, oh, we haven't seen like on the honeymoon. So I was like, well, if I was wearing this when we get back, like, would you want to walk with me down the street? Like, it is such a straightforward, like, are you embarrassed of me or not?
I think he's trying to get confirmation of what he already feels, because she hasn't really come out and said that she's not attracted to him. I think he's just trying to get more of a sampling of data of like, she definitely. All right,
she likes pretty boys. She doesn't like me in this. She doesn't like me in that. Actually, anything in my suitcase she doesn't like. But I still think there's a chance.
Well, he got his hopes up with that great first night. And I think that's really what is giving him like this like weird feeling of like, okay, so what happened between then and there? Yeah. Now, she did say on last week's after party that she did feel like a little bit of the ick when she saw those broccoli shorts. And that's kind of where it started for her. So, I mean,
I don't know. And I think we saw a little bit of this on the next time on. I think she's tiptoeing around it. I think she's using his style as the excuse when it's really his body that she's not attracted to.
Because on the next time on, she does say that she prefers to be with people that take care of themselves, aka going to the gym is what I read into that.
Girl, why did you come on MAFS Why did y'all give her a guy with a dad bod? Plenty of women love guys with dad bods. Clearly, she doesn't. I hope that she should have made it a deal breaker if she wanted somebody who is a gym rat and has a 20 pack. Like I don't know. I just don't like when people give up like this soon and this early over stuff that to me is just so superficial.
I said, we'll just give the guy on the cast who loves the gym another wife. We'll see what happens.
We do get one last segment with them on the boat where he says he talked about this story about him being in Venezuela with his dad and running into two 12-foot manta rays. That gets into a talk about what they fear. She fears failure at a certain point. She says she's been pretty independent and successful up till now, but she still has that little bit of fear of failure. And that gets Allen talking about, you can sometimes be afraid to be vulnerable and afraid of rejection. He says, but I don't feel rejected by you right now yet. He says we connect on some level. We just got to figure it out. He does say he does have fear of no communication and not being able to read their situation right. She says, she has been a little uncomfy being overly communicative because that's not what she's used to, but she does see the commonalities that they share and that they can connect on. Ratings.
First, I think she thinks she's out of his league.
Here's the thing. I felt the same way about like an Alyssa and a Chris from a few seasons ago. Like, is he really that much out of your league? Like, it's not as if he's a 2 and you're a 10. Like, I feel like it's a little close the gap a little bit more. Like, I feel like
it's like what they always say on Love Is Blind. I think she sees it as if she were at a bar and she saw him, she would not be thinking, "Oh, I want him to approach me," or she wouldn't be thinking to approach him.
Yeah, so then don't come on MAFS and tell people that you're ready for something different than what you're used to.
Okay. Thank you. But also, did you catch her toast? What is it with her and these weird toes?
These sexual toes.
I wrote it down.
I'm done.
Yeah, go ahead. Say it. Go ahead, Aysha.
Like, where is she?
Okay. She said, here's to the storks that bring good babies. Here's to the crows that bring bad babies. Here's to the swallows that bring no babies.
Gross.
So inappropriate. Madison's dad. Maybe you need to be asking Madison about her
results. For real. But yeah, I just feel like she has such a high opinion of herself that she just has now convinced herself that Allen is just so far down for what she would ever date or do. I feel like she hyped herself up at the wedding, was just like, you're doing something different. Like, this is not, you want a nice guy like this. This is what you want. And now by the time you got into the honeymoon, this is like, I'm really looking for that gym rat. I'm really looking for that metrosexual guy.
Yeah, because it kind of goes back to her friend was like, or was it a sister or something was like, oh, when I first saw you, I was like, oh, you were not her type. But then I got to know your personality and I was like, oh, you're great. I think she's gotten past the initial like, oh, he seems like a nice guy, to, oh, wait, that's not enough. Like, I think if he were a bit more charismatic, maybe she would feel differently. I don't know.
I think she put it right when she said he has an eclectic personality. And it seems like that she's just not vibing with that at all. She does not want eclectic. She does not want different. She does not want
dynamic. Nope.
Yeah, she wants a regular gym rat that will overly groom himself. And she fooled herself into thinking that she was ready for something different, but she's not.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, so I've moved to a 1. I don't know about y'all.
1.
Ooh. Where was I last week on them?
Last week you were at a 3.
3.
You were at a 3. Jason was at a 3, and I was at a 2.
Yeah, I gotta come down to a 2 at least. Not looking good.
I'm hitting at a 2. I can't believe that the first episode for me was a 5, and now I'm all the way down to a 2. But I think this is headed to Friendville real fast in a hurry.
They're the homies.
They are. I don't even know if they're
I don't think they are.
Like, she's able to stand to being around him, but she can't imagine. Yeah, she can't imagine herself in a romantic relationship with this guy, and I think that's where she's at. I think that's probably where she will stay.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like who was it last year? What's his name? The one who got the runaway bride? Not Matt? No.
Michael.
Michael. And what was his girl? Chloe.
Yeah. Yes.
Chloe. Like how Chloe kept nitpicking Michael's style. The only difference is she liked sleeping with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and with Michael and Chloe, it was kind of like a careful what you wish for, which I think is similar to Madison. Like you said you were ready for something different. You said you wanted a nice guy. You said you were done with the gym rats and all that. But now that we gave it to you, now you don't want it.
Right. Oh goodness. Okay. That made me think of Michael. I checked in real quick on his Instagram. He's been doing a lot of podcasts.
Oh, good for him.
Podcasts about what?
Boxing.
I
don't know.
Yeah.
I just see him on videos with the microphone.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's move on to our last couple that we've pretty much been talking about the entire
couple.
Let's enjoy them while they last. Okay.
There will be a point. Well, for Jason,
I enjoyed.
Yeah.
I had fun.
There will be a time when we're gonna have to find a singular picture of David, I'm sure, to keep talking about.
I mean, listen, we might have a picture of David and Madison and Michelle and Allen at some point. Who knows?
Oh my gosh. So we get a shot of him. I think it's like a selfie camera. He's at the beach early, just enjoying the weather.
This turned into David's travel vlog.
Yes.
Like, this whole episode was like his new experiences in Cancun and what he's doing.
Yeah. Yes.
Like he's literally experiencing Cancun. I think she's just sitting in the who is in Cancun going to sleep at 9:00 at night?
Who is in Cancun with a stank face the whole time? Just
literally
the whole time.
I think she is only left for the group activities. That room. He said he woke up to live another day. He is just trying to find the bright side somehow, some way. So he's going to the gym as he has been doing the past few days. He runs into, we catch just him and Madison walking. So it's like they ran into each other, quote unquote. He's like, look, I knew you were going to be my gym buddy. I was like, oh, she likes to work out. She got them shoulders. I said, she got them what?
She do got them shoulders though.
Yes. And so we get a confessional from him. He's like, yeah, me and Madison's marriages are very similar, and I just really want to see a woman's point of view. And so she tells him, like, with her and Allen, like the day they got there, she was giving the vibes of "don't touch me," which I'm glad she owned up to. She's not in denial about this at all.
Right. Like, well, no. Yeah, keep going.
He's like, oh, Michelle was too. She said, yeah, we've been open and honest, but we're just not fully there yet. I do feel comfortable if he like put his hand on my back. She's like, yeah, bar for bar. That's what you told us. That's what you told him. And then she's like, yeah, his last relationship was like really super toxic, and mine was like 3 years ago, and his was only a year ago. And he's like, what?
Oh, y'all talk about past relationships? Y'all talk about any experience you had in the past? What?
He said,
y'all are there? Y'all are there already?
Did y'all meet before a few days ago? Because how were y'all already at that level of conversation?
I could really get a hello out of her.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he said, look, I had a 12-year relationship at one point, and we were even engaged at one point throughout the relationship.
That was news to us, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He said, I actually still have her name tattooed on my chest, and Michelle does not know. Right. I just didn't tell her yet because I don't want to put too much on her. Because I was already saying a lot.
I was like, that was a lot, sir.
I was like, you think she hates you now? Just wait. Yeah. But what is this? Is this a theme this year of like people that were in multi-year relationships and never pulled the trigger or whatever it is. Because we got Thomas, we got David, we got
Alan.
Akechi, right?
Alan, Gate,
Oh yeah,
Ikechi.
Ikechi was engaged
Yeah,
before.
he was engaged.
All these people, just I guess that's what you get when you get older crop of people. They
That
live
is
more.
true.
Yeah. Yeah, valid point. And so Madison's like, why haven't you told her? He's like, well, I just shared too much at the wedding. Okay. Like,
He can't get a word in because she is constantly asking about the living situation.
yeah,
He
literally.
can't say anything else.
He cannot give any new information. And Madison's advice to him was like, look, when she is putting up a wall or she's like challenging you, like challenge her back. Like when she pushes back, you push back because you need to like get to know her as well. And I don't know if that's the best advice.
If only Madison knew that how bad this advice was that she gave him.
Because it's like I think Madison at this point isn't fully aware of how Michelle feels. If she knew Michelle was as checked out as Michelle is, then Madison would not have done this.
Well, I think
or said this.
Madison's also talking for herself.
Exactly.
That's what she wants Alan to do. She wants Alan to be more assertive, ask more questions, push back more. I think she even used that terminology. That's what she wants Alan to do. So she's projecting that onto David.
Yeah. We cut to I knew this was going to trip me up at some point. We have been doing okay so far. Michelle Madison. Someone in the Facebook group said, what's I cannot tell the difference between Michelle and Madison. And then someone commented and was like, Madison is the one who hates all the things about Alan. Michelle is the one that hates all the things about David. Like that does check out. So we cut to Michelle back in the room. She's calling her sister. She said the weather's actually been really bad, and she's like, "Oh, her sister's like, oh, what have you been doing?" And her Michelle's like, "We don't really know each other. Like that it would have been different if we had found things in common before we start talking about all this other stuff. But the fact that we didn't, we can't even get to finding things that we have in common. And I know I'm getting moody and I feel myself being a brat." And her sister's like, "Yeah, we know you do get that way." She's like, "Just allow yourself to have fun."
Like, lady, you keep saying we. It's you. You're the one stuck on.
It's like that. It's like the comedy sketch where the guy's like, "We're gonna figure out who did this. We're gonna figure out who was at fault here, who the bad guy is." Like, bro, it's you. Like, you are the one. You are the bad guy.
SpongeBob meme.
You are doing this.
Oh, like it's so annoying. She's like, we can't even get to the fun stuff because we keep harping on the you keep harping on the bad stuff, and it's not even that bad. Like the bad stuff is what he's about to tell you.
Oh, bro,
yeah,
you don't even know.
We haven't got there yet.
You know half of it, girl.
So he comes back from the gym, and she's like, "Oh, how was the gym?" He's like, "Oh, Madison was there." She's like, "Oh, did y'all work out together?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, we like got on the treadmills, walked alongside each other." And he I can't remember. Did she say something before he said like he's been picking and choosing?
Here's the thing about this scene, right? David got this advice from Madison.
Yes.
He came in and he
said,
rat-a-tat-tat. He rat-a-tat-tat off these questions. He's like, so Madison told me to ask you questions. So here's one question. Here's another one. Here's another one. Okay, David. Like,
yeah, he like before his butt hits the seat. Yeah. So how come you haven't been in a relationship in 6 years?
Bruh.
Whoa.
Chill.
David, read the room, my guy. Read the room.
She's like, "Well, I've dated. Like, I just haven't, everything just kept like fizzling out." And he's like, "Okay, well, like, just want you to know, like, I had a 12-year relationship and her name is actually still tatted on my chest. first and middle name, and he
said this.
shows it.
He said this in about 3 seconds.
Yes.
He said, I was in a 12-year relationship, and her name's tatted on my chest. Here, you want to see it? Like,
First and middle name.
bro.
I almost said my last name, but I decided not to.
Michelle was the gift. She was the man.
Yeah. Totally caught off guard. Just
Because he is really bad at this. I'm
he
sorry.
is bad
Like
at this.
He
is
just
bad at it.
drops it.
love him to death. But David, I'm slow rolling. Somebody should have taught you how to slow roll, especially bad news.
He said
Like,
dropping it.
He's like a puppy dog that just cannot help himself. He's just like,
yeah.
he's like, I got you this and this. Here's this and this. Like, don't know. You gotta relax. You gotta relax, bro.
She's like, why? She asked him like, why did he do that? Why did he get her name tattooed? And he's like, well, we're long distance.
With the look on her face, like she just had some bad capers. She was like, why would you do that?
Right. He said they were long distance and he wanted to express his love for her because he was like, I'd get your name tattooed. And she didn't believe it. And so he's like, look, I'm going to do it in the next, like, whatever, how many minutes. And then he did it. And so then we get a confessional from her saying, I don't think anyone should get their significant other's name tattooed on their body. So
it's like, anyone? Like, ever? Like, even if you're like in a deeply committed marriage, like, no, you should never, ever get your significant other tattooed on your body. If
David does it, you shouldn't do it.
Boy, this more than anything else should tell you why they are a severe mismatch. Like, they're just two entirely different people. It's like, it's as if they just like, oh, you said you liked black guys with beards. Got you. No, they had no other like qualifications they need to meet. Like, we got your physical type. Here you go. We're not worried about anything else. There you go. Because she's like, you would have thought that he like hit her in the face with a bag of bricks. Like the way she looked, it's just like
she was so disgusted.
Why? Like, disgusted is the right word because it was like she was gobsmacked.
It's so he was like, look, I have a plan to get it removed. Like, and maybe that could be a date for us. We could go and like get it removed. They get a confessional from her. She said, I want no part of him getting this tattoo removed. That's an individual activity.
Oh my God.
Straight
dude.
face. Oh,
she hates this man so hard.
She tells him, look, he asked her straight up. This is what Allen should say. David goes, do you find me physically attracted? And she's like, well, I'm finding a hard time like finding the attraction between us. He's like, well, hopefully it comes soon. And we get a confessional from her. She's like, I feel like we're just going in circles and I don't feel like I know him enough to open up.
Gee, I wonder why you cannot get to know him. It's because you won't let him get to know you. And I mean, listen, further spelled out later in this episode. But I wish I should have like captured the face that she had on the whole episode, and like that should have been the face she used for the picture we have here. Because the stank face is not even like harsh enough
At all.
She's just done.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
So they're sitting on the couch and he's like, well, like, okay, maybe we can go check out the resort, grab some lunch. And she's starting to get frustrated because she feels like they're doing the same song and dance.
Wait, didn't he ask her about her pants here or no?
Yeah, after this.
Shoot, sorry.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
She's like, she feels like he's living in some type of fantasy land. And he's like, I'm asking questions and I'm getting vague answers. And she's like, you're asking vague questions. Girl.
And he's like, well, I'm trying not to overwhelm you. Like, you keep saying you are overwhelmed. I'm trying to get anything even surface to open up this conversation at all.
Because he's like, if it's up to me, I would be asking how your relationship is like with your parents. She's like, well, I'm wondering why you want to know that.
That did take me out. I was like, huh? What?
Like, and why would you like to know? Is this for a survey? Like, who are you
going to tell?
This is a documentary? Like, that's private.
Why are you trying to get so personal?
Who are you, my husband or something?
We're all married.
He's like, look, I'm a family person.
Oh,
He's like, what do you want? What do you want me to know? She said,
he is so confused.
honestly, nothing at this point.
Ooh.
And she's like, I feel like we're just faking it. He's like, I have been the realest and happiest I've ever been in my life. Why are you? She's like, why are you happy?
But
I'm
David, you
role-playing at
are
this
lying
point.
though. You are lying, David. You're not happy right now.
Yeah,
Like
he's not the happiest he is. He is
he's ever been.
He is trying to be optimistic, and he's
Yes,
trying
exactly.
to like. He's like, if I can believe it and feel it, we will get there. Because I don't
She
know
is
what
not-
else to do.
She is not about that life. She's like, no, this is miserable. This is terrible. I want to leave. I don't want to be here.
She's
And
like, so wait. Well, go ahead.
No, go.
She's like, wait, so you're happy? Like right now, you're happy? He's like, I'm trying to keep a positive mindset because, like, you're having a hard time, but like you have a great time around the other couples. I think you have a really cute laugh. So I'm like, okay, let's keep that going. She's like, I'm not having a good time like with us. And she says, I think I'm good here then.
Yeah.
And so
And that's what I was about to say. I'm like, she's mad that he's not mad. She's mad that
Yes.
he's not
Yep.
frustrated. It's definitely giving Chris and Alyssa. Like she's like, I don't saying that he's in a fantasy land is stupid. He's not in a fantasy land. He's trying to make this work.
yes.
You're the one who is like trying to shut it down. Like she wants him to be like, yeah, we don't have, this isn't
Mhm.
working. So she could be like, yeah, you're right. It's not working. It's okay.
Yeah.
So that nobody can be at fault. Like you're at fault. Because she even says it, I think, next.
Yeah. So like
Mhm.
we get a confessional from him. He's like, yeah, she's not feeling it right now, and I'm trying to figure this out. He had stepped out and he came back in and he's like, okay, do you want to like grab a bite to eat? Okay. And she's like, I'm gonna take a pause. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the pool. If you want to come, you can come. I'm inviting you. And then we get a confession from her, and she's like, dude, I need you to leave me alone. And she's getting so frustrated that she's not getting the sense that he's also frustrated. And she's every day is just an uphill battle.
Like she is so put upon.
him.
Like she is so
Yeah.
like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And when he's just trying to come at her with like peace and like, okay, well, you let me know when your moment's over, we can hang out. It's just like her mind's is like, dude, get the hint. I don't
Yeah.
want to be anywhere near you.
And
Mhm.
literally, it's not that he's doing anything to cause her to be like, I don't want to talk to you. She is having an issue that they don't know each other that well. He's trying to provide an opportunity for them to have more conversations. And all she's doing is shutting him down at every turn so that they don't get to know each other, so that she can keep being mad that they don't know each other.
I think she's mad because she
Stupid.
keeps saying we're just faking it. I think what she means is he is faking it, because that's what she thinks. Probably she thinks he's trying to be all nice and everything for the cameras, and
Mhm.
he's not being as real as she is. When in actuality, he's just trying to make the best out of this turd sandwich that you
Exactly.
presented him
He's in
with.
Cancun.
Yeah.
He
He's
doesn't
very
want to
laid
skulk
back.
around.
Mhm.
Yeah. He said,
Yeah.
I'm going to go walk on the beach. You don't want to get up? I'm going to go get up. He has
Yeah.
woken up early every day to enjoy
He really
himself.
has. Yeah.
I mean, Michelle is the personification of the ick. Like you talk about the ick and you talk about it in these terms. No, this is what it looks like, folks.
Yes.
Like this is a
Mhm.
prime example.
Exactly.
When you can't see past anything else and everything else that person does disgusts you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So David decides to get the guys together so he can get some advice. And we get this little shot from him. He's like, usually I get like iced chai, which me all the way. I love a good iced chai. But he said, today I got iced coffee. I'm going to try it for the first time ever.
Oh, right.
This man gags on camera.
It's no
He
for
said,
me.
nope. It's
I
not
love-
for me.
I love
Not for me,
that.
dog.
Agent,
That's
you got
hilarious.
you gotta tell him you gotta hit him with the iced chai and the matcha, right? That's
yes.
Mhm.
Yes. And
That's
get
Asia's drink. Mhm.
the key is an iced chai with matcha. Don't get an iced matcha with
Yeah, that's
chai.
nasty.
Right. The chai is the key.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then get the matcha on top as
Add
like
it,
an
yeah.
enhancer.
Mhm.
No? Jason, you've never
right. No, I've never and never will.
What?
I trusted Asia. I was like, Asia, what do you get? I got it, and now that's like all I get now too.
Yes.
With or without the matcha, because I
Right.
did like
Should
my
I-
husband
Should I
messed
excuse
up one
myself?
time.
So
and-
y'all two
and
can be
did the
alone.
matcha
Should I
backwards.
go?
No, we're good. We're talking about the travel blacks.
So the guys go tequila tasting. David's trying to get helpful advice. Of course, Ikechi's chiming in at every opportunity. David tells them that they've had a communication issue since day one. Ikechi says, let's take a shot. He says they've been a little rocky. Like he wants to see how he can advance his marriage. Ikechi said, look, I came into this with no expectations. No expectations, okay? Like you just need to talk to her about what she needs. I know David wants to be like, I've tried. I've literally tried.
Literally, that's what I've been doing every time. Like he's got to be
Every
so
time.
frustrated because everything these guys are saying,
Yeah.
like, "Hey, try to be cool with her. Like, ask her what you can do." It's like, I've done that. I've done every single thing y'all talking about, and it does not work.
Yeah. So when the girls are doing yoga, Michelle tells them, "Look, we're on the struggle bus. I feel like he talks at me a lot," is what she says. She says there's just not a lot of follow-up questions. And MM was like, it's because he doesn't know you.
No, it's because she won't answer the first question to get
because she said it's because he doesn't know you and he doesn't know how to ask you questions yet. Like he's still learning that. And
if they only knew the truth, if they only knew the real story.
And Michelle's like, I just feel like I'm the bad guy.
Because you are.
Right.
Yep.
And I was like, well, I'm just like, I'm hoping he understands that you like feel that way. And she said yesterday, Michelle said yesterday they had a hard conversation and she wanted to have a moment and that she felt, he said like, okay, you have 5 minutes and then you're back on the clock, lady. It's like, oh, if you feel like this relationship is a job, you're so far gone.
Yeah. And then she kept going too. She's like, no, I want the day. This part was funny because at first she's talking to MM and they're like, oh girl, no. It's okay.
Yeah.
And then she says this and then it goes to Camille and Camille's kind of like,
I think she might be the problem. I don't know. I'm not sure, y'all. I think she might be the issue. I know we girls and all, but it might be her.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
I was just like, I just wanted a moment. He kept checking in. He kept texting,
checking in.
He kept calling. Like, because a moment means a moment. If you want the whole day, say you want the whole day.
Right.
The whole day is not a moment. A moment is 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, maybe. Like, a moment is not a day. Like,
yeah.
She's like, he kept inviting me to things.
Like, who is this man?
Lose my number. We get a confessional from Camille who's like, she needs to readjust her focus and look at the glass half full. Basically,
exactly.
This girl is a negative Nancy.
Yeah, 100%.
And so Madison chimes in, who she spent the morning with him. Okay, so she has a little bit more insight. But Madison is like, he's really trying to read you and make you comfortable. Why don't you try asking him deeper questions? So
she's like, ew, why? Why would I do that?
What? And yeah, why would I need to know that? And so we David and Michelle get back together after both groups hang out, and David's like, okay, how do you feel? Like, did I give you enough space? How was it like, and how was yoga? And she's, oh, well, yeah, Carla taught yoga. He's like, well, the guys had a lot to say and I shared a lot about us, just so you know. He said, the guys told me, don't have any expectations coming into this. And he's like, did you have any expectations and am I meeting them? She's like, well, I wanted someone who matched my lifestyle, success, and who could teach me things. And I feel like we have different future goals. And I'm not sure that we're compatible.
She said different lifestyle, as in I don't live with my parents.
Right.
Yep. You could hear it. You could hear it all in her voice.
And he said he's trying. And he asked, like, okay, what do you want from, like, he says he's trying. He's asked her, what does she want from him? She's like, well, like, I needed a break. And you kept contacting me. And I told you I would let you know when I'm done. He's like, look, I'm still trying to be in this marriage. Like, what do you want me to do? Exactly. Like, that's me trying to be in it. He's like, well, I feel smothered. Like, don't call me or text me because it makes me more angry. And she's like, maybe like give me until the end of the day. And he said, look, wait. He said, look, I'm I'm happy to go golf for 4 hours. Yeah, she said, you've got to stop interrupting me.
As I was trying to interrupt you.
Right.
Let's circle back to why she is so angry. It's because he keeps trying to talk to her. That's what she's so angry about. Like, not that he called her a name.
Nope.
Not that he physically harmed her or said something she didn't like. Because he keeps trying to just talk to her and
her
have normal
reaching out to her.
Yeah, and have normal discussion. That's what's making her angry. She said, she literally said she was angry with him.
Because let's even go back to why she needed a moment in the first place. Because they didn't know each other.
Oh yeah, I was really kind of. I was like, I do not remember why.
And she is upset because he wants to try to get to know her, the woman he just married.
Yeah, she said she feels smothered. If I was him, I would have done exactly what he did and got up and walked away. What do you mean smothered? I'm out here tasting coffee and video selfing me in the gym. Wait, smothered where? Smothered how? I'm sleeping on the couch.
He's like, I'm enjoying Cancun by myself.
Crazy.
And so she says that she feels like he's talking at her and she can't get a word in. And he's like, okay, I'm getting really frustrated. And because he reaches a point where he's like, okay, I get it. Like, I got it before you got to that point of saying, like, I'm talking at you. And he said, if you want your, like, mother effing space, I'll give it to you. So he gets up, he goes get a water at the bar. And then we, like, go to commercial, we come back. In confessional, he said, like, his marriage has been rocky. He's just trying to keep her happy. He comes back to the table. He's like, look, that's the angriest you'll probably ever see me. I just needed some time, but I'll take a step back. And we get a confessional from her, and she's like, I'm not a control freak, but, like, I want to leave. I want to push myself to stay, but, like, I want to leave.
Well, she says she is a control freak, and that's what's missing.
Oh, she does. She says she is a control. Yeah.
Yeah, that she doesn't have any control. And that's what's getting her. Like, she's like, normally I would just leave, but I don't want to do that because I owe it to myself to push myself. Like, if you need to push yourself, like, this isn't world's toughest test.
Yeah.
This isn't like, this isn't a survival show. Like, this shouldn't be this hard. You're making it way harder than it needs to be. You have to push yourself to be here.
I couldn't like watching her was frustrating. I couldn't imagine being David because he honestly has done everything he could possibly can to try and make this work. And she's just so mad that he's doing that. Like, she really does not want to look like the bad guy, but you are. I'm sorry, you are. You came in here. You're a control freak. Why are you on Married at First Sight?
You have no control.
Married at First Sight?
Zero. She said, maybe this will be a good challenge.
That's not what this is for, bro.
At all. There's like zero thought into there being another person on the other side of this who also went into this sacrificing a lot and trying to put their all into it. She has complete disregard for him. On the boat, she says they have not spoke. She's fine if they just do some small talk. So they eventually are next to each other conveniently on the boat. It wasn't like they sat together or whatever. They just happened to be near each other. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so, like, what happened after we talked? Like, did you do anything? She's like, oh, I talked on the phone with some friends. I ordered food and I went to bed. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, I'm just frustrated and annoyed. And he's trying to, like, okay, well, like, what could I do? And she's like, I'm trying to keep the day light.
He did the right damn thing. He's like, all right, I'm out. Right. I'm out of here. Bye.
I'm good.
And everyone's having fun on the boat, and she's just standing there like,
just mad.
How are you mad on a party boat? How are you mad on a party boat? I would have been so mad. If I'm anybody else, you are not about to mess up my day, Scrooge lady. Like, we are getting drunk on a boat. We're on a boat. And you're mad. You pulled the producers on the boat.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The producers are like, we're trying to shoot them sliding down the slide. And you are over here sulking.
You're over there causing drama.
Like, what are you doing?
We're trying to have a fun slide montage. Do you mind?
Slow motion and everything. You're ruining it.
And so she's like, she tells the producer, this is pointless. She's crying. She's like, I'm closing off and I'm at the point where everything is just annoying. And I don't even know if I want to try.
I don't even want to try.
Yeah. And the producer's like, well, can you remember the reason you did get married? And I can't remember.
And that's their thing. That's the producer's thing. Like, so like take it back to why you wanted to do this.
Yeah,
and she wouldn't even
what's
cooperate
your
with that. She's like, I don't even remember. Like,
Which,
don't remember.
honestly, she's probably right.
She
can't even
no
pull
clue.
her desperation.
Yeah.
Bruh,
That is so far gone out of her memory.
I don't even remember. Like, you can't even give me the canned line that we fed you about why you wanted to do this. I don't remember. Out of here. Get off my show.
She has no idea. No clue.
Alan's want to go down the slide. I need to catch that. Goodbye.
5 days ago. That memory is gone.
Gone. The 3 months leading up to this, where she told that to a camera countless times, she can't remember it. Can't remember why she wanted to do this.
She said, do you see David who I'm dealing with? When it's just like David's just like,
as David's having fun drinking with his buddies.
Oh, the switch up is insane of just like thinking in the early days like that he would be the downfall of their relationship. And no, it's her.
I mean, I'm sure if we gave him the chance, he would have been the downfall.
No, don't even. I'm not even going to put that on him because he has proven that like even if it were going to be like they were this incompatible situation, he gives me Clint. Like we would have had, he would have tried to at least be amicable.
Yeah. 100%.
So, yeah. So,
but I think he would have benefited from when she says, "I want to keep it light." Maybe be like, "Okay, keep it light. What are your favorite TV shows? Like anything. Give me the lightest fluff."
She's like, why do you want to know?
Why do you want to know?
Right. Like,
I don't like comedies. Clearly.
I like dramas.
She's like, I don't remember the last time I laughed.
Yeah. Oh, I remember when she laughed. I remember that laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. He even called that laugh
hear
cute.
That laugh. Yeah, he liked her laugh. He thought it was cute.
Yeah, like, but she's the stickiest stick in the mud that I've ever seen on this show. There was Alyssa. I don't want to Trump Queen Alyssa. But she's just not here for a good time at all. Unless she got exactly what she asked for. Package perfect. She was gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
I still don't even know. I don't know if anybody standing at that altar would have matched what she wanted.
Yeah. Well, next week we did get her saying she needs to quit being hard on herself. So it looks like they're going to make an effort to at least hang out, do a date activity. I don't know. It looked like they were doing
frame. They were not in the same frame though. They could have been 2 different times and they were each paddleboarding in a different time of day. I don't know.
Yeah. And then also there was the sequence of events of Carla and Juan, where Juan was like, "Oh, I hung out with David today. I completely forgot about you." Then they showed her saying, like, "You don't forget about your wife."
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. Yeah.
I'm curious to see what that's about.
Right. So let's rate them.
Do we need to?
Are we still ones down the board?
Yeah.
Did you see anything that
lower?
For real?
I'm just mad I'm the only one that has given them a 2 this season. That was episode 3. But
I mean,
that's besides that, they've gotten all 1. So
they deserve it.
That's her fault.
Yes, 0 hope for that couple. But yeah, that is our episode.
Such a great episode.
Oof.
Oh my god.
That was fun.
This has been great.
Oh my gosh. The David and Michelle show.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But yes, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. Make sure you go subscribe to the Love at First Sight feed, and go subscribe to the RHAP YouTube channel. Make sure you go join the Perfect Match Podcast Facebook group, where the password this week is Let me be your homie.
Maybe the
Yeah.
homie. Yeah.
Yeah, let me be the
Anything
homie.
No,
Something homie.
Just to make
If
it
I-
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out. You'll figure
If
it
I
out.
see homie, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll accept.
the homie.
So yeah, Mary, Mari, where can people keep up with you?
Well, you can follow me over on Blue Sky at Mari Talks Too Much because we done with that other app. So if you want to talk to me and hit me up over on Blue Sky, that's where I'm at. Of course, me and Sarah Carradine bring True Crime Tuesdays with the Crime Scene podcast. We are a true crime review podcast where we watch documentaries and docuseries. We rate them and we tell you if you should watch them as well. We've been having an amazing time over there. We just reviewed Woman of the Hour. That'll be coming out at the same time that this does. So Woman of the Hour is on Netflix. It's directed, it's a feature film directed by Anna Kendrick based on the dating game killer Rodney Alcala's time on the dating game show. It was a really good conversation. Like I definitely came into that conversation thinking one thing and left thinking another. So me and Sarah were joined by the amazing Rebecca Lavoie, and we had a great conversation. So go to crimescenepod.com in order to subscribe, or type Crime Scene, that's SEEN, into any podcatcher of your choice to find us. Also, over on the Recap Kickback, me, Chappelle, and Matt Scott did our full season review of Beauty in Black, Tyler Perry's Beauty in Black, which is on Netflix. It was hilarious. I literally was crying laughing on that podcast. I had not laughed so hard in my entire life. So again, just make sure you go and watch that. We're having a lot of fun over on Recap Kickback. You can go to recapkickback.com in order to subscribe, or go and watch us on YouTube, which I highly suggest. Go to youtube.com/@recapkickback. And that's it.
All right. Loved having you here as always.
Thank you.
Jason, where can people find you?
Mari, you haven't emotionally and mentally harmed me in a while, so I'm ready to come back on Crime Scene whenever you need me.
Oh, okay.
As far as where you can find me,
Jasper.
I am also on the Blue Ski. I'm not going to call it Blue Sky. I am not going to call them Skeets, because Little John and the Yang twins taught me what skeeting was, and that is not what this is. You can find me over there at JR33D. That's where I'll be. I'm still on Twitter, so either way, whatever.
Wait, what is your username?
JR33D. I could not get J Reed, so I flipped those E's backwards.
You didn't want JAYR.
No, I'm trying to stay away from that long title. Anyway,
because he took so long, we kept telling him to come over to Blue Sky, and he kept resisting, so he didn't get the handle he wanted.
I'm sure J Reed was taken like in the first day that wasn't. Anyway, podcast wise, you can find me on the Good Pod talking about The Good Wife and Elsbeth at the moment. Here. So that's where you can find me.
Yeah, so y'all can find me at Asia Like Asia over on Instagram and Blue Sky. And you can also find me on Cameo. So shout out there.
That sounds like extra toys and treats for Pepper and Cinnamon to me.
I gotta see how much this costs. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a field day.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh my gosh. So yes, y'all make sure you join us next week. Hopefully you enjoyed today's pod. I'm sure I certainly had a great time.
Oh, me too. Mari, let's play the Cameo game real quick.
Oh God, I hate this.
Age's Cameo.
Okay.
More or less than $50?
Less.
I'm gonna go more.
Wait, I thought you saw what the price is.
I didn't see what the price is. I'm gonna let you tell me what the price is.
Oh, it's only $30.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. Not bad. I mean, listen, you got enough money. Like, you know, I don't want to be greedy.
No, don't say no. Buy cameos from Asia. Pepper and Cinnamon need more doggy outfits.
Yeah, if you need if you want to see the dogs, if you want to get advice, if you want a birthday shout out, Christmas gift, anything.
Oh,
If you get an
Christmas right around.
cameo, please post it in the Facebook group. I need to see them all.
Every single
Oh, yes,
one.
that's great. Yes, Facebook, come on.
Yeah, that would be exclusive to the Facebook group. So,
Oh man, I wonder what I can make Asia say. I want a lot of experimenting I want to be doing over the next
like,
week.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I am.
As if you don't talk to me every week. Oh,
You don't say
all
what I
right.
want you to say every week. I'm trying to make you say nonsense stuff.
I just disagree with you.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So catch us next week, y'all. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Bye.